Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Snan's Cricket World. Well, yesterday we saw a fascinating game of cricket between Australia and New Zealand, and also Bangladesh versus Netherlands. We'll talk about that later. But first up, it was an epic clash between the two trans-Tasman rivals, Australia and New Zealand, and kind of a contest you were craving for in this World Cup. And Australia won the toss, and they decided to. New Zealand, in fact, won the toss and put Australia into bat. And Australia, with the returning Travis Head, became started off in an excellent, an absolute fascinating manner, getting to the 100 and just by the 10th over. And Travis Head and David Warner was just superb, took the bowling and to the swords. And Travis Head, in his return to international cricket after an injury, he showed the world what Australia was missing at the top, with a fantastic century coming returning, and in his very first World Cup match. And David Warner, who's carrying that some brilliant run of form, and missed out on his third consecutive 100 in this tournament, but was in excellent form as well. And they got to an opening stand of 175 together, and Travis Head was just about magnificent with the bat. And New Zealand had no answers to the bowling, and although they kept chipping on, getting some getting some wickets, but it wasn't to be, as Australia were absolutely ruthless with came Glenn Maxwell, who smashed an easy 42 along with Pat Cummins, and along with some brilliant hitting in the end, they got to 388 at the end, which turned out to be a very impressive score against a very good quality New Zealand bowling lineup. And it was expected that New Zealand will fight, and the fight they did. They played superb cricket, and although they lost early couple of wickets of Devon Conway and Will Young, but it was Rachin Ravindra and Daryl Mitchell who kept the scoreline ticking, and it was a fantastic display of batting from Rachendra Ravindra. Daryl Mitchell went out for 54 odd, but Rachendra Ravindra continued on his merry ways and played some beautiful shots all round the park, getting to his second 100 in this World Cup. And Australia were also put to the sword. New Zealand played superbly. They kept the scorecard ticking along, and it was 18 required of the last over. Jimmy Neesham at the end provided a much needed impetus to the New Zealand innings, kept the New Zealanders in the hunt, and but with 18 needed to the last over, it went down to the wire with Jimmy Neesham hitting a couple of good shots, but it was Australian fielding at the end which saved them the game. The two certain boundaries were stopped, and Australia when Jimmy Neesham unfortunately got run out in this, and Australia got home by a bare minimum margin of 5 runs, which was an absolute breathtaking encounter. This was. New Zealand were just absolutely brilliant, and they matched Australia in all departments. It was just one hit away from creating history in this World Cup, and it was just absolutely an epic chase from New Zealand. Just almost fell short, which is unfortunate for them, as they didn't deserve to lose out, because they played superbly. But it was a credit to all goes to Australia. They're back to their winning ways, and although their bowling looked a little disappointing, but it was the fielding that won them the game. It was a brilliant performance in the Australian fielders at the end. They kept their nerves and held New Zealand, and what an epic contest it was. That shows how the modern game is played, and it was one of the best encounters of this World Cup you can get. And although some doubts will come on the bowlers on both sides, but this is how the modern day cricket is played, as it was such a high scoring encounter which puts the other team nations of the world, particularly Pakistan and to a certain extent Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and also to England, who also have been very unfortunate, and but it shows them how you take on the bowlers in this era. While for Australia, they are picking at the right time for not a so great start of the tournament. They came back strongly and have picked up their game. And with the return of Travis Head at the top, they are now looking a very dangerous side. And I will not be surprised if they get to their sixth World Cup title if they win this, because they are picking up the pieces. New Zealand, now they've lost 2 games in a row, but you shouldn't count them out. They're still a very good side. They've got 3 games to go with tough games probably against South Africa South Africa. They have got South Africa and Pakistan to play. And if they lose another one, they might put the likes of Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Netherlands interested. So let's hope that they regain their mojo. They haven't. In both the games against India and Australia, they didn't deserve to lose, but it was. So they have got a little bit of blip in form. Let's hope Kane Williamson returns to their side and they get their mojo back. But these are the kind of encounters you crave for in cricket, and it was an excellent day of cricket. The second game was played between Netherlands and Bangladesh, and it was a low-scoring encounter as opposed to the one played in Dharamshala. Bangladesh put Netherlands into bat, and Netherlands were bowled out for 229 with some disciplined bowling from the Bangladeshis. Netherlands haven't been at their best in their batting department, and at one point they were looking in all sorts of danger, but Scott Edwards dropped twice by the Bangladesh fielders, got yet again saved the Dutch and got them to 229, and he played a true captain's innings yet again. And then it was the turn of their bowling, which has been quite disciplined, apart from the game against Australia, where they were ruthlessly attacked. This time around they kept the discipline, and they bowled absolutely brilliantly and rolled out the Bangladeshis for just 143, where none of the batsmen really making an impact. Bangladesh have looked a very pedestrian side in this tournament. They haven't really been up to their mark. After winning the first game against Afghanistan, they haven't really looked at all winning, haven't really even come close to winning any other game. So this has been another disappointing tournament for Bangladesh. Shakib Al Hasan has looked all at sea has looked out of form. As opposed to the last tournament, where Bangladesh hopes were carried by Shakib with both bat and ball. This time he's looked quite disappointing with both bat and ball, and he hasn't been at his best, while the rest of the batting has lacked the discipline. Mushfiqur Rahim hasn't scored a lot of runs. Mahmudullah has been batting too low down the order, and disappointing for Bangladesh. But to talk of Netherlands, who have been absolutely ruthless in this match and have kept the discipline going. Their fielding was superb. Their bowling was right up to the mark, and particularly considering Paul van Meekeren, who bowled an absolute brilliant spell of bowling, took 4 wickets, and he was absolutely brilliant with the ball. Netherlands have been a very impressive side, even if they don't make the semi-final. Although they have targeted the semi-final, even if they don't make it, they have made quite a stare at this competition. They have made quite an impact, and they will be hoping that they get a full member status from now on, because they deserve it, because this has been an absolute gem of a performance. Their batting, although it's looked a little bit of has struggled a bit, but they will come good as well as they progress. But the bowling and the fielding has been absolutely brilliant. The catch efficiency has been one of the best in the tournament. So this has been the hallmark of their performance in this tournament. They have been led superbly by their captain Scott Edwards, and they are making a mark in this World Cup. And they have got some good few games to go. And if you continue with this impressive run of form, they can make it to the semi-finals. Let's hope if it happens or not. Still 3 games in all tournaments to go, and we see how it pans out. Today it's going to be India versus England, the tournament top of the table. India taking on the bottom ranked, last ranked England side, and who England, well, this is their last chance to defend their title, but things are not going their way. While India are right on top of the game. Let's see if they keep their form going, or England can make a surprise comeback or not. So let's hope for the great game of cricket today. It's bye for now. Let's see you on the other side.